Good afternoon. I wanted to hop on today and talk a little bit about price reductions. Houses that are for sale and the owner reduces the price in order to increase activity and get the house sold. We're seeing more of those these days than we have in the last, 4 or 5 years. Every day on our MLS feed, we can see, activity, and we see more and more houses making price reductions in order to get the house sold. And oftentimes that's just a great thing to do if you're determined to sell your house, it's got to go. Certainly there are some sellers who are of the opinion, you know what, I don't have to sell my house, and if I can't get this price for it, I'm not willing to sell it, and they don't reduce the price. And oftentimes that just leads to what we call an expired listing, another indicator we see each day of houses that have been on the market for a certain amount of time and just haven't sold. Their contract with their realtor has run out. But for those who really want to get their house sold, reducing the price can be very important. Of course, you sometimes have another option of making improvements to the house. If we're continually hearing feedback, negative feedback about the house itself, and if it's something you can change, maybe you change it. But for sellers who can't change it or don't want to make changes to the property, but they absolutely have to get the house sold, the only other thing you have control of, as long as it's being exposed properly to the market, which it should be if you're listed with a good realtor, the only other thing you have control of is to adjust that price. And the market, the good thing about real estate, the market tells you what the value is by the response that you get. And in past markets, we've seen, statistics that will indicate that a larger percentage than not of the houses that sold only did so after one or more price reductions. So it's an important part of the strategy in getting a house sold is to be diligent in adjusting to meet what the market will bear. You don't want to go any lower than that, but I've done this enough times to see that as you adjust the price, when you get in that range of market value, a few things happen. The showings increase, the inquiries about the house increase, and you can almost feel it, an offer's coming, and it does. So don't be afraid to adjust your price. We all want as much as we can get. We can do more harm than good by leaving it on the market longer than we should before we make these price adjustments. And when I see people who are determined to sell their house, they tweak the price until they get a bite, things tend to work out for the best. Price reductions, a little insight today.